The 2000s were a time where electronic music experienced a rebirth. And not just for old genres, completely new ones also appeared. The synthwave genre appeared as an imitation of the 1980s music with the addition of new technologies. Synthesizers are actively used here, which reproduce the atmosphere of sci-fi action movies and video games so accurately. Now, interest in cyberpunk has resumed in society, and with it, the love of the synthwave genre. Today on Facts in Box, we'll introduce you to some of the most popular synthwave musicians. The Midnight. The team was formed in Atlanta by vocalist Jamison Tyler Lyle and producer, composer, and singer Tim Daniel McEwen in 2012. The synthwave group got together during a joint songwriting workshop, but their first EP, Days of Thunder, came out only 2 years later. Their album Nocturna later spent several weeks as a bestseller on the Bandcamp website and reached number 17 on the Billboard Dance Chart. In the same year, the group gave a concert on the Los Angeles venue Globe Theater. There was truly a full house. The latest release of Kids Musicians has received rave reviews from fans and is now available online. As for the live performances of the group, they are all imbued in the mood of cyberpunk. Timecop 1983. Jordi Lenaerts, better known by the stage name Timecop 1983, is a Dutch electronic musician producing synthpop, dreamwave, and synthwave. If you want to ride on the nostalgia of the 80s, then you will definitely like this musician and producer. Jordi began making his computer music at the age of 12. Timecop 1983 gained international recognition in 2016 with the New Retro Wave label. He is often asked to perform live in the United States and in Dubai. In 2016, he had a live show at the Amsterdam dance event with fellow performers Sunglasses Kid, College, and Mathelvin. His music and logo were in the video game Grand Theft Auto V. He wrote the music for Crossing Souls, which was released in 2018. His music can also be heard on the 2017 Netflix series Coin Heist and You Get Me. In 2018, Timecop 1983 toured 4 US states. At the end of that year, he had a big show with the synthesizer band The Midnight. Nina. Nina is a German singer and songwriter based in London and playing in the synthwave electronic genre. In 2011, she teamed up with drummer and producer Laura Fairs. Nina released her first single, Take Me Away, in 2011 via Aztec Records. Her debut album, Sleepwalking, was released only in 2018. The single My Mistake, which was included in the collection of Hugo Boss. In November 2018, Nina performed 6 shows in the US along with Canadian synthpop band Parallels. In 2019, Nina Bolt appeared in the documentary Rise of the Synthesizers, appearing along with other composers from the synthwave scene. FM84. The FM84 is the pseudonym of Scottish music producer and musician Cole Bennett. The debut album of the retrowave band FM84, called Atlas, is a release that will make you nostalgic for a long time to come. Atlas made a real breakthrough in the direction of the classic synthwave sound. It has an almost cinematic volume. This is not music in the usual sense, but rather artistic recognition. Colin himself says that his music is a story about youth, miracles, imagination, innocence, first love, and its failures. It's all captured under the glorious golden light of the setting sun. All lovers of beautiful art will also like the album covers of this talented musician. LeBrock. This is a British synthwave group from English Petersburg. The team has 2 EPs, Action and Romance and Real Thing. LeBrock's music is full of adrenaline, and it's a real musical drama from the era of the 1980s, which you will definitely listen to until the end. You will find an easily recognizable sharp voice, ready to crash into the fibers of the soul of the audience, as well as incendiary rock and roll samples, which have become the hallmark of the performer. Perturbator. This is a synthwave project of the French musician James Kent. According to legend, he's half human, half synthesizer. He gained world fame after the release of the Hotline Miami game, in which he took part in the creation of the soundtrack. Perturbator's music is characterized by a gloomy atmosphere and a harsh rhythm compared to other retro music, which makes this project related to metal bands. Kent draws inspiration from the John Carpenter films, cyberpunk, and VHS B-movie culture. Kent himself defines Perturbator's style as an actual sounding cyberpunk. concerts often take place at atypical festivals. For example, in 2015, Kent gave a concert at the Festival of Industrial Metal. The journalists themselves described the concept as something between a rave and a Metallica concert. Carpenter Brut. This is a project by the French musician Frank Ueso in the genre of Synthwave. He gained world fame after the release of the game Hotline Miami 2, in the creation of the soundtrack of which he took part. Carpenter Brut's music is characterized by a strong influence of metal as well as a hard and fast rhythm. Ueso admits that he is a fan of this genre. In addition, he recognizes the influence of Italian composer Giorgio Moroder and the French electroflash band Justice. In addition, the influence of horror films of the 1970s and 80s of the satanic Italian giallo films of the late 1970s is clearly visible. In the video clips of the project, frames from the films of the 80s and 90s often appear, from where he draws inspiration. Did you discover any new groups from this video? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single comment that we get. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time on Facts Inbox.